This is my 11-month decomposing my leaves inside this drum, and this is what I had gathered after 11 months of just leaving the leaves inside this drum. So as I dig in more what's inside the drum, I found most of these unbroken leaves. As I turn this drum, by the way, what I've seen are all of these unbroken leaves, but they are soft and moist, and as I crushed it with my hands, they are easily break down. See? So it's not only leaves that I place in this drum. Through the months, I place cottons, tissues, vegetable waste. I put some fine soil as well, and some stems, but I think the stem won't break down that easily. It's been 11 months now, and still I find some of the stem I placed in are still hard, like this one. Ouch. So this is what an 11 months of compost looks like. So what I did in the process was I placed this drum in the most sunniest part of our garden and just leave it there. I didn't do any turning, just like what I've seen in YouTube. I just keep on filling up this drum with an open underneath, and place it here next to my plants, because this is where most of the concentration of the heat of the sun in the afternoon in our garden. So after I fill in some new fresh leaves or tissues, cottons, I place 3 heavy pots on top to compress it, to compress what underneath the pots, to compress those leaves, cottons, tissues, vegetable waste, and just leave it there. And then to keep it moist, I water down my plants with rain soil, because I collect rain soil. I collect rainwater when it rains, and that's what I've used in watering the plants. And as I water the plants on top of the pile of leaves, it moist my compost underneath those pots. So for 11 months, this is what I've gathered. And as I turn this drum, I've seen this pile of leaves moist, soft, and you just have to break it with your hand or with this. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of this one because this is my first time to do compost. I did some compost using cut leaves, because it's COVID time and I have plenty of time to do all sorts of things. So what I did with some of the compost that I've done so far, I cut the leaves to small pieces, and I place it in a basin and just leave it there. And just leave it there to become decomposed. Places in the most sunniest part of the garden, and I put some fine soil as well in the process. I water them sometimes when it gets dry, and just keep on turning and turning and turning, mixing and mixing. So with this drum, I didn't do any mixing. I just fill it up whenever the size of my compost decreases. So I just fill up, fill up, fill up. So for 11 months, this is what I've got. And this is my first time to harvest a compost using a drum like this. So when those pile of leaves got pressed up, they generate heat mostly in the middle and down. Plus, I place it in the most sunniest part of the garden. That speed up the decomposing process as well. So this is what I harvested for 11 months, and it's good for this plant. See, this plant is one of those expensive plants that you can see on YouTube, and they just grow freely in our backyard. Most of our plants just grow freely in our backyard, and my mom just place it to some of the place in the backyard where it's shaded by the trees. So this is now good for putting in your plant. And this is how it looks like. Still, I'm getting all this pile of leaves to crush. And still some more there to harvest. I've been gathering a lot of rubbish as well, because some of these leaves I had collected from our neighbor. So I don't know what's underneath. I just emptied it in this drum so I can fill it up to the top. So I want to share this video with you. This is my first time to do composting using a drum. So if you want to decompose in this way, you just have to get a drum like this with an open underneath. So you can just keep on filling up the drum. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.